Hello, HeartMath Certified family. This is Steve Havel, Activation Facilitator for the HeartMath Certified Professional Community. And in this brief instructional video, we do want to do an informal walkthrough of how you can use the Inner Balance app on a mobile phone with your client to be able to walk them through a demo of the technology the way you would do in person with an M-Wave Pro and like that. So what I'd like to suggest first, the person that you're talking about, your client, would need to have the Inner Balance sensor, the app, everything set up on their side so they are ready to go. So we're just going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get myself set up and get my sensor connected, get my app connected, and see if I can do my best to stay in a coherent state while I'm doing this demo for you. That ought to be a good opportunity. Little heart focused breathing. All right, friends. So the first option, let's just imagine that there's one other person on this call with you. You know what it's like to be on a two-person Zoom call. And then we would just say, hey, if you're ready, we'd love to walk you through an exercise using your new sensor and the Inner Balance app from your phone. So let's have you do this. So what you would do is you would have the person go to their phone. You would scroll to the Zoom app, as you can see. And one of the easiest ways to do it is to go to whatever meeting you're in, because the Zoom link is in it, and just click on the meeting. So I'm just clicking on that meeting, going down to it, and as long as they're logged into Zoom or have their password to do it, as soon as I hit this, you'll see it starts to connect me to Zoom. And it says, please wait, the host will admit you. Now, you can't see it on screen, but on my Zoom screen, I have a thing that says, please admit. And guess what? All of a sudden, as soon as I admit, now we have Steve's phone on here. It will also have a note that says connect via, and you'll want to select whatever's appropriate. You don't need sound for this. So ideally, I would say connect using internet audio. Yeah. First thing you have to do is hit the mute button, because having two lines connected in the same proximity gives this really horrible squelchy sound. So we're going to go to Zoom. There I am, double. I'm going to double click this and say share content. And you're going to need to make sure as a host that you've allowed people to share. So I'll come back to this, say share content, and I'm going to say share screen. You'll see the top option here says share screen. And what that does is within just a moment, then you get the next one that says screen broadcast, and you will select Zoom. Start broadcast. You hit that, and boom, here you go. Now, I can go ahead and turn the microphone off. It gives you that option. And then share device audio on or off. So that will save you from any of that squelchy background noise. Now, when you've got this going, you now have on the screen, all you would do is go as you normally do. You scroll up, you'd slide over to the app, and you would tune in to the app. Hey, that's pretty cool, staying in the green. All right, now once they're set up this way, which should work from an Android or an iPhone, you can then guide them through heart focused breathing, quick coherence, any of these things, and they will see in real time them moving from green to blue to red, etc. So that's one way, that's one of the approaches, is that you're able to just have them dial in as another participant, share their screen through Zoom on their phone, give it the appropriate permissions, which will be very logical and walk you through, and you should be on the session with them at the time. So that's the first option. Just want to say it's really clean. It works both platforms, Mac and PC, and it's going to give you the option to be able to do that. And it's really just one of those things that's wonderful to walk with someone as you are online, virtual, anywhere around the world, to be able to, once they have their tech and they're all set up, get going. So that's option one. Okay, let me go ahead and stop this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to stop my sensor. You're going to see that in those quick couple of minutes, what my performance was, nothing too impressive. And all I need to do is go back to the screen and say, stop share. The person's gone. And then you could actually literally go in and you could say to remove the person or that connection. You'll say yes. Now you're back to it. So that's option 1. Okay, so let's look at option 2. Option 2 is when you use the sharing function of Zoom, which is available for the button just below here in the menu, big button. And when you click it, it pops up a navigation screen. I'm going to click that button so that I can share what that navigation screen looks like. So you should now be seeing the share screen that would pop up. And what I want to draw your attention to is this little icon here, iPhone, iPad via AirPlay. You would click on that, and then you would click the share button. What that will do is ideally that's going to pop up another instructional form. So let's go ahead and do that. And because Zoom will not show necessarily the host's controls, I'm happy to bring in screenshots to show you what that looks like. Well, let's go ahead and just kind of mock up and show you what that looks like. So when I go into share and I hit the AirPlay mode, it brings up a window that looks just like this. It says, which network do you want to connect to? Tap on screen monitoring, and then choose Zoom Steve's MacBook Pro. And then that way, basically, you're coming from your phone into the computer and then casting into the TV. It's pretty simple, or I should say monitor, not TV. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm connected already. I'm going into my settings in my iPhone, and I'm going to the screen mirroring, and you will see at the bottom, there's an option that said Zoom Steve's MacBook Pro. Now, when I do that, you will now see that what shows up on screen is my shared phone. Tap it once, tap it again, goes to your screen, roll it up to get to your apps, and select the app. So let's go ahead and make this interesting, and I'll go ahead and connect real time. So while you're with your client, you would just guide them to how to do that. Now, if they have an iPhone and they have an Apple computer, they can connect using this second option via AirPlay, which is again, Apple's wireless service. So that's how you do that. Then you would focus on walking them through a heart-focused breathing technique, etc. This is just a second option to be able to do what we used to do in person pre-COVID times on NimWave Pro, to be able to do that on a live Zoom call. Okay, friends, I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. That's how this works for option number 3. Okay, here we go. Option number 3 of connecting an iPhone through Zoom. Now, when you hit the share screen, again, it'll pop up in your view. The client won't see it, or you will ask them to do it. You'll have to give them permissions by clicking on the share screen and selecting multiple participants can share so that they have the rights and the permission to share the screen. Now, they're already plugged in, running on their inner balance sensor on their side. And what you want to do is go back to your share screen. What I'm going to do is just point it at the window that would pop up in your view, which you'll see here. And you'll see that there's an option here below. The last one we selected was connecting wirelessly via AirPlay. This option is about connecting with a regular iPhone cable or connector. So we're going to select this iPhone via AirPlay. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share, do that and select that on my end and watch what happens. You're going to then see an option that's going to ask you whether you want to trust the computer or not. I'm going to show you real quickly what that looks like. Basically, it's a shot just like this. It's going to say, connect your computer. And I'm saying, yes, let's connect that. And immediately what's going to happen is 2 things. It's going to pop up and say, do you want to trust this computer? And once you say yes, it pops it up, it puts it on the screen, and now the person has shared their InterBalance app on the screen. Now, as you can see, it will go either wide or tall, but that's the third option where you use a physical computer. And it's a little bit more of an easy process because you just give permissions to trust in both directions, as I had mentioned with the screenshot here, and you're in business. So those are the three ways with a very casual walkthrough and introduction of how you can use the InterBalance technology, the sensor, the app, to do a virtual walkthrough and session, a demo session with your client. This video was meant to just show you the mechanics and the three simple options. Play with them, try it out. As you can see in this video, I'm doing it just by myself. And then bring a friend on to be able to test that out. You can use your own InterBalance, you can walk it through, but once you're comfortable with it, you'll realize it's really, really beautiful to be able to provide this type of guidance, coaching, and mentoring for your clients, for your patients, and for the people that you're enjoying your coherence practice with on your own. So I hope that you find this effective and useful in your practice. It's been something that a lot of questions have been coming in about, and we wanted to make sure we gave you some clear instruction on how you can use it 3 different ways on any type of platform so that you always have an option to be able to get someone's device connected to a Zoom call and walk them through that. Thanks so much. I'm Steve Havel, Activation Facilitator for the Certified Community, and I look forward to connecting with you on an upcoming call. Take good care, and thanks for your time.